Welcome to the EU Youth Dialogue, a structured process of youth participation in the European Union. It facilitates continuous interaction between young people and decision-makers, ensuring that EU policies are shaped by the needs and priorities of young people. The EU Youth Dialogue is an essential part of the EU Youth Strategy, the EU's framework for youth policies. This strategy contains the 11 European Youth Goals, addressing topics that young people in Europe care about and want to see improved. The EU Youth Dialogue operates in cycles of 18 months. During one cycle, 3 countries work together on a specific topic, often connected to a youth goal. In each EU country, a national working group is usually composed of the National Youth Council, the Youth Ministry, and the National Agency for Erasmus Plus Youth. This group organises consultations with young people, and their findings are discussed during EU youth conferences. These conferences are at the heart of the EU Youth Dialogue. There are 3 EU youth conferences per cycle, 1 in each presidency. The majority of the participants are young people, sent by national youth councils or youth organisations, and they represent the voices of the youth from their national or local context. These youth delegates engage in dialogues with representatives from national youth ministries, researchers, experts, and policymakers from the local to the European level. Ministerial delegates bring their expertise to the table and ensure that youth perspectives are integrated into policy-making processes. Inclusivity is key. The EU Youth Dialogue aims to give every young person a chance to participate and be heard during the consultations and conferences. Each cycle of the EU Youth Dialogue is divided into a consultation and an implementation phase. At the start of the consultation phase, participants explore and define the central topic and contribute to gathering information, knowledge, and expertise. As a result, the first EU Youth Conference sets the scene of the entire cycle. In the consultation buzz, national working groups organise events, surveys, polls, or focus groups to gather the perspectives from young people. Fast forward to the second EU Youth Conference, where the collected input becomes the conversation starter across all EU countries. In the implementation phase, the spotlight shifts to discussing and spreading the results of the consultation on both EU and national levels. And at the third EU Youth Conference, participants conclude the cycle by formulating recommendations for future policy changes, with the ambition to turn insights into impactful actions. The national working groups work towards the implementation of these outcomes at national, regional, and local level, and inform young participants about the outcomes. At the end of each cycle, the outcomes and policy recommendations stemming from the dialogue are communicated to the Ministers of Youth in the Council and captured in a political text. The EU Youth Dialogue is a catalyst for positive change, initially with small steps, but over a long time, small steps can make big change. Overall, the EU Youth Dialogue leads to a better representation of young people's interests, needs, and expectations in policymaking. Are you a young person in the EU? Then you can get involved in the EU Youth Dialogue. Reach out to your National Youth Council or find more information on www.youth-goals.eu or our Instagram account @YouthConf.